Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Disney. Disney has surrendered to Charter Spectrum, the cable company that was forcing them to change their ESPN and other cable deals. Disney has apparently lost all their leverage with their cable channels and can't push around their cable customers anymore. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. The updated deal that Disney is going to do with Charter is very similar to what Charter was requesting in the first place. This is what Charter was requesting that Disney backed down and essentially just agreed to do. If I were Disney, in the position that Disney has put themselves in, they did do the right thing. They absolutely had no choice. They had to kind of face reality and just surrender to what the cable industry actually wants from them. Here's what Charter said they wanted. Charter has offered the Walt Disney Company the opportunity to create a partnership that we believe could transform the industry and help restore our mutual video business to growth. As part of the solution, Charter would accept the Walt Disney Company's market rates in exchange for, and these market rates, these are the prevailing rates of what Disney wants for its cable channels, but also realistic rates for reselling the direct-to-consumer channels like Disney Plus, like their current ESPN Plus. They wanted lower penetration minimums to deliver package flexibility to their customers, meaning that they could offer skinny bundles or groups of channels at lower prices rather than channels that included all of their channels at a higher price to customers. And the reason Charter wanted this so much was because they were getting so many cancellations. They lose about 5% of their customers every year, which is typical for the cable industry, but it's been around 25% of their customer base over the last 5 years. That is not good for Charter, but it's also not good for Disney. It's not good for the whole industry. They needed to evolve and figure out what they were going to do to offer competitive services that customers were actually willing to pay for. They wanted inclusion of ad-supported direct-to-consumer apps within their packaged linear products so that customers do not have to pay twice for similar programming. This is to say, they wanted to carry Disney Plus, they wanted to carry ESPN Plus, and be able to offer it to their cable customers so that cable customers didn't have to pay for a cable subscription at the same time as pay for a streaming subscription. Because when you try to compare, well, am I going to pay this low monthly price for a streaming service, or am I going to pay for my cable bill? That's the reason why people have been canceling their cable. Charter also offered to commit to market their direct-to-consumer products to their broadband-only customers. So Charter, of course, has some people who are customers who only buy internet connectivity services like broadband. Charter was offering to Disney, hey, let us resell your direct-to-consumer services. Give us a low rate for those. We'll mark it up and sell it to customers we already have that get their broadband service from us. Disney refused all of this. Disney just wanted a 10-year deal to charge higher rates under all of the same old circumstances. And Charter said, no, we want access to your direct-to-consumer streaming services so we can offer them to our customers so that our customers aren't going to just cancel our service and sign up with you. And we want the ability to market those services to our internet-only customers who have canceled cable, but have still kept us as an internet service provider. That's very reasonable, and it's good business for Disney and Charter to do that. Disney just doesn't have anybody strategic at the company anymore to have realized, look, this is a pretty good offer. This does create problems for Disney because Disney is now losing the opportunity to operate more like Netflix. Netflix is not looking to do this kind of stuff with cable companies where they're not selling directly to the consumer and they're allowing themselves to be resold to the consumer. So Netflix has that direct to the consumer relationship, different from what Charter is saying, where they're saying, let us sell this service to our customers for you. It's really like turning Disney streaming services into cable channels, essentially, that Disney also is allowed to sell directly to customers. Coming from The Hollywood Reporter, Disney and Spectrum cut new carriage deal, ending blackout and returning ESPN and ABC to lineups. Disney's channels had been blocked for Spectrum customers since August 31st and will return just in time for Monday Night Football. So they really didn't have much more time to mess around. But this is the Charter deal. They say this joint statement, Disney and Charter, our collective goal has always been to build an innovative model for the future, said Disney CEO Bob Iger and Charter CEO Chris Winfrey in a joint statement. This deal recognizes both the continued value of linear television and the growing popularity of streaming services while addressing the evolving needs of our consumers. We also want to thank our mutual customers for their patience this past week and are pleased that Spectrum viewers once again have access to Disney's high-quality sports, news, and entertainment programming in time for Monday Night Football. Because if they didn't make some kind of a deal by Monday Night Football, Charter would have a lot of angry customers, they would have a lot of cancellations, although people do still need to get their internet service somewhere, but Disney would have absolutely permanently damaged their business model. I think this permanently evolves their business model, and it does give Disney a lot of opportunities if they capitalize on it. Disney is able to distribute ad-supported versions of Disney Plus through this cable company. They can do it with other cable companies, generate ad revenue, and also get Disney Plus out to people so that some people might say, you know what? I just want the premium ad-free version, or I want to just sign up for Disney Plus. I like that, but I don't want the rest of my cable service. That's another opportunity that Disney has, and they should have recognized this when Charter first started asking them to consider doing this. But basically, Charter got everything they asked for as far as I can tell. A sticking point for Charter on the deal was the desire to offer Disney streaming services to its pay TV service and have more flexibility in what channels it offered in different packages. At least some of those issues were resolved in the new deal, according to the companies. We don't have the full details on this deal, but I can tell you based on how their press release is written, number one, they basically gave Charter everything that Charter wanted. Disney got what Disney wanted, at least to the extent that they have guaranteed revenue for their linear channels, including ESPN, of probably around $2.2 or $2.3 billion for the next 10 years, which they absolutely needed to have. It looks like Charter said, look, this is what we really want and need. You tell us what you really want and need. And what Disney wants and needed was that distribution and that money. They can't not have that $23 billion approximately over the next 10 years because they got bills to pay. Disney says that Charter will give its Spectrum TV Select customers access to Disney Plus with ads in a wholesale arrangement between the companies. ESPN Plus will be provided to Spectrum TV Select Plus, which concentrates more on sports, with the flagship ESPN streaming service being made available to those customers when it launches. So here's what Disney gave up. They gave up a tremendous amount. They made an agreement to sell at a greatly reduced price. We have no idea how cheap it is. Disney Plus to Charter Spectrum so that Charter could basically offer it for free as part of the value of signing up for their cable package. Those people that sign up to Disney Plus with ads and keep it through Charter are very unlikely to then go and sign up directly with Disney. And this is a problem for Disney's streaming service in the future. They will have a lot more distribution as a result of this deal with Charter Spectrum because Disney Plus will be on Charter Spectrum and they'll get ad revenue from that as well. But they're not going to be signing those people up as direct customers for their subscriptions for future Disney Plus services. So we should expect to see less people signing up as individuals directly with Disney to get access to the content. Additionally, Disney gave up ESPN Plus, which was never a part of Charter services either. So ESPN Plus is supposed to be an exclusive streaming service available only direct through Disney. Well, not anymore. Now it's basically just another cable channel. So you're not going to go and sign up for ESPN Plus directly through Disney either if you're already getting it through Charter. Additionally, Disney gave up part of the birthright for ESPN when they launch ESPN eventually as its own streaming service to Charter. Well, we will give you access to ESPN, the standalone streaming service, to offer it to your customers instead of excluding that service and only offering it direct to consumer on our own. This is a capitulation Disney never intended to have to give up. They're giving up on all of it. All of their valuable streaming services will now also be offered through cable companies like Charter, as long as the other cable companies want to help them distribute this content, which realistically probably they will want to do. It's not a terrible deal for Disney. It just means now they have to really change what they're focusing on. It's a massive strategic shift. It's the same sort of thing as if some of their other Disney channels and Disney content were available directly through Disney, through their subscription services, their streaming services, as well as offered through their cable distributors. So their streaming services content is really no longer exclusive to those direct-to-consumer relationships right through Disney. The cost of new subscribers for Disney Plus when they market on their own is actually pretty high. The cost for a cable company like Charter to find new customers for Disney Plus is extremely low because they have these existing customer relationships. This is a big change in both their businesses. There will, however, be significant changes to Disney Plus channel offerings. Charter also got the negotiation that they wanted to tier some of Disney's channels, meaning they're not forced to offer Disney's channels to all of their customers. This is exactly what Charter said they wanted when they made their demands right here to Disney in the first place. The companies both say Spectrum will maintain flexibility to offer a range of video packages at various price points based upon different customers' viewing preferences. This means they will be skinny bundles that are lower price video products that do not include all of Disney's channels, and then there will be higher priced versions that include a lot of Disney's channels. However, incredibly and also historically, Charter Spectrum is dropping some of the lesser performing Disney channels. Here's what they're dropping. There will, however, be significant changes to Disney's channel offerings. Under the new deal, Freeform, Disney Junior, Disney XD, FXX, and Nat Geo Wild, among other cable channels, will no longer be carried by Spectrum, which instead will focus on the core ESPN networks, FX, Nat Geo, and Disney Junior channels, as well as ABC stations. That is historic, so they are dropping Disney channels. Spectrum is not going to be helping Disney distribute all of the content they're producing for all of their channels. It's just not happening. There's limited demand for those channels. Disney had to ascribe some value to what they're giving them with the Disney Plus subscriptions. They're going to be getting, and we don't know what the numbers are yet, but my prediction is that Disney is going to be getting around the $2.3 billion per year they were looking for, including ESPN, including the key Disney channels they wanted, not the junky Disney channels, breaking Disney's bundle historically for the first time, and also getting access to Disney Plus, as well as future access to ESPN, and also getting access to Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, which exists as kind of a complimentary sports service to ESPN right now. Used to only be direct to consumer, not anymore. And the future ESPN standalone streaming services that many people will probably cancel cable for because some people are only interested in ESPN. This is the end of an era where Disney could just go to their cable distributors and say, look, this is how much you need to pay. Give us this amount for the next 10 years. You have nothing to say about it. Oh, and by the way, we're going to directly compete with you for your customers. That's not happening. Disney has surrendered, capitulated, given in to Charter Communications, and now set a precedent that Comcast and all the other cable companies can then hit up Disney for and say, hey, listen, you're doing this deal with Charter Spectrum. You need to do this deal with us. And Disney will absolutely go along with it. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.